shout if you ain't got enemies. I roll ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets caught real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score. Never getting bored, lots of blood and gore. Always wanting more, freedom from the source. They don't really listen until they feel it for the party. And if you start shit, you be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped. You be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your...
Take a look at some of these charts. In numerous categories, we're lower than the world. Let me explain. Well, the test right here, take a look. You can test too much. You do know that. What it says is when you have somebody that has, where there's a case, it will last. No, but you're not reporting it correctly. We have cases, our testing, I believe, this is the testing, yeah. Yep. Check it out. New cases, new cases, new cases. The top one, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. We test more, we have, now take a look. Death is way down from where it was. Take a look at this. These are the tests we leveled out and it's going down. But you have to look at this. This is, excuse me, where it was is much higher than where it is right now. But you don't know that. That's my report as of yesterday. You have to go by where, look, here is the United States. You have to go by the cases. What's called science. We have more cases. Don't we get credit for that? We show more cases. They are dying. That's true. And it is what it is. Now it's going down again. And, you know, there are those that say the world is so very, just read the manuals, read the book. This one didn't reach my desk.
Jesus. That's fucking, oh my God. Just, I want to see just the video of two Trumps like that. Just, excuse me, excuse me. They're just trying to like out excuse the other.
Right. Oh, so what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Derp State, where we talk about all the insanely dumb shit that's been happening within our current administration this week. And like always, it's a lot. So much so that that's why we have 3 episodes a week now to try and keep up with all the news stories that keep coming out. So tonight we're going to talk about how a Trump-appointed judge has told them they cannot deport people under the Alien Enemies Act. We're kind of wondering why the hell is the Pizzagate guy allowed to ask questions at White House press briefings. Okay. Mike Walz, who is responsible for the biggest security F up in American history. Well, no, I don't know if it's American history, but in recent history, was not fired. He was just given another job. And he is still using Signal while at cabinet meetings. Like, Jesus Christ, these people. And Pam Bondi has made some sensationalist claims regarding Donald Trump's war on fentanyl. Which we'll talk about here soon. All made up numbers, of course, but they are so made up. It's not even funny. And Elon Musk is on his way out, apparently. Not only is he on his way out of politics, well, the damage is already done at this point. I know. He may be on his way out of Tesla before the end of this. They are not happy with him because obviously he's, you know, now they're associated with the guy that does the Nazi salute. That's not a good look for a brand. Volkswagen and Porsche and all of them were able to recover from it. You know, is Tesla strong enough to do the same? I don't know. They don't actually build good cars. I mean, compared to the ones in China, they're actually kind of shit. They're overpriced, just pieces of garbage. Like that company BYD in China is building just some amazing electric cars, and they're doing it for like $13,000.
I mean, all you have to do is look at the user footage of people with exploding Teslas or a Cybertruck stuck in the mud, you know?
Right. Or the Cybertruck. Yeah. I saw a video of a Cybertruck. They're like, look, we can go off-roading too. And it was just them driving on grass.
Yes,
It wasn't even off-roading. It was just a lawn. And they're like, well, look at us.
Look at us. All-terrain vehicle right here, man. Hey, look, a lawnmower.
Yeah, it's crazy. So Marco Rubio now is going to be taking Mike Walz's place. So we have some videos of Marco Rubio from 2016 and how he felt about Donald Trump back then versus now, or his tongue is firmly lodged up Donald Trump's asshole. way up there. I think most of them are.
Clicks the uprights.
I just don't understand how you go from saying stuff like Donald Trump is a con man and the worst thing that ever happened to the United States or whatever, and then now he's peddling this Canada being the 51st state nonsense. Like, how do you go from one to the other? Well,
Yeah.
money, I'm sure.
Yeah, and power. But Ted Cruz did the same thing, right? And then J.D. Vance literally called Trump Hitler. Called Trump Hitler. And then, but it's a problem when the liberals do it. Okay, got it.
I know, right? Yeah, he made fun of. Didn't he make fun of Ted Cruz's wife?
He did, and that is like the amount of eunuch you would have to be to have someone make fun of your wife and then say, "Can I also have a job, please?" Like, yeah, it's pathetic. Please. They're just pathetic, weak people.
They really are. So yeah, we have a lot to talk about. The detention camps. That's good news. Finally, a judge stepped up. I'm sure Donald Trump and his administration will go whining and crying to the Supreme Court. Hopefully, the Supreme Court puts a stop to all this, because this is getting out of control. We can't. The whole Abrego Garcia. We played on last night's episode the video of him talking about he thinks that tattoo, that picture of that says MS-13 on his knuckles. He actually thinks that he has the number or the letter MS and the numbers 13 tattooed on his knuckles. It's clearly a photoshopped image. That's the world we live in. But this is a video, drone footage that was caught. I think it's by ABC. We'll see in the clip here. I can't remember. We have so many videos that we go through a week. But this is drone footage of what's going on at the detention camps, and you can see here that they are spelling out they're spelling out SOS as the drone flies over. So let's just take a look at this.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, and
the male Handmaid's Tale shit right there.
That's sad to see, and that's on United States soil. I can't even imagine what's going on down in El Salvador. Apparently, that is on rocky ground, from what I've been hearing. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. I'm waiting to hear more about it, because the agreement that El Salvador had with Trump was convicted criminals, and he's just sending random people that have no criminal history without any kind of trial or conviction whatsoever. So, but El Salvador also gets a lot of funding from like NATO.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if they're committing crimes against humanity and just plain up doing kidnapping and human trafficking, they could lose hundreds of millions of dollars as opposed to the few $1 million that Donald Trump is spending on this whole project. So
yeah, and there's a couple different aspects to it. Is that one, if it has to do with money going to El Salvador, Bukele's going to be pissed because Trump doesn't pay anybody. He does not pay his contractors. So Mr. Bukele, you're shafted. So there's that. And then you also have the intense microscope that's put on the whole situation. And now it's unveiling a lot of Bukele's ties to the El Salvadoran gangs, whom he cut deals with specifically to get in power, and that Trump brought back from America to give to Bukele, not to go to jail, mind you, but so that he could put him in like positions of power so that they could help him further. And then it's just politically, it's very unpopular. This whole situation, I don't know what it's like in El Salvador, but it's extremely unpopular here in America. Thank God that, it's amazing that we will elect a Nazi, but we don't like the Nazi policies. We only like Nazi light. We like Coors Light, basically. It's the entire fucking country. But it's just unpopular, and it's not really a tenable position to keep going. And with this SOS thing, Republicans are far closer, especially the Republican Latino voters. It's already happened. American citizens have been kidnapped by ICE, abolish ICE, by the way, and they've been kidnapped by ICE and sent to foreign countries. They've been sent to Guantanamo. They've been sent to detention facilities like this. So Republicans that are Latino, or just generally speaking, might be in the wrong place at the wrong time, piss off someone from ICE. They are the new Gestapo. You are far more likely to end up in that kind of a situation than you ever are to end up as a billionaire with a golden toilet like Trump. So they made some bad mistakes here, and if Republicans ever come to their senses on it, I don't know. We'll see.
I know Trump's justification for it is, well, I want to deport 21 million people. How am I possibly going to give all these people trials? That's just crazy talk. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's the whole point, asshole. Due process. Like, that you have a bull's hat and a couple tattoos on your knuckles. That's not enough to send people to another country. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just a leftist weirdo, but I believe that that's a little harsh to be judging people by. And basically, like, if you put a white person and a brown person in the same outfit with the same tattoos, they would literally go, "Oh my God, he's in a gang."
Yeah, so but not the white person.
Right, exactly.
And also, it's notable that he doesn't want these trials specifically because he would lose. There's no evidence against Mahmoud Khalil. The other guy from Colombia, the New York guy, was recently released. Zoran.
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
The student.
Was the student.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Well, he was recently released, and then same with Abrego Garcia. They have no criminal history, and if this was put before a judge and a jury, they would lose faster than Trump lost his election lawsuits.
Oh my God, so fast! But here, just so you guys can see it, this is a Trump-appointed judge. So prohibiting impermanent injunction, prohibiting respondents from employing the proclamation and the Alien Enemies Act against them. So, yeah. For now, anyways, the court system has put the brakes on things. This is again a Trump-appointed judge, not a radical left Soros-funded judge, or an Obama appointee or whatever. This isn't I just get sick to my stomach when,
wasn't it? This guy was Trump's appointee.
Well, Trump appointee, and then they're going to bitch.
He's
about
the deep state. I put him in there, but turns out he was with the CIA the whole time.
Yeah, I like that one comment there. Oh, what was the comment Amanda put up? Did we see the interview with Elon's father? Yeah, we saw it. Both of them, a lot of them. Unfortunately, we keep track of that. But yeah, Elon's father is disgusting. Elon's father had kids with Elon's stepsister,
who he groomed from when they
4 years old.
Became stepsister. Yeah,
or she was like in diapers or something.
No, I think she brought her into the family when she was 12. Was she that young?
I think she was younger than that.
Oh,
I think for whatever. Yeah, but hey, regardless though,
and married her
family.
And it's still no, I'm sorry, they did divorce, I believe. But it's still creepy. It's fucking creepy. Everything they accuse the left of is exactly what they're doing on the right.
Right. Completely agreed. And we would like to remind everybody that they're the ones obsessed with genitals. They're also obsessed with all right, I'm gonna post. This is an official post from the White House's Twitter page. Okay. I did not make this. Donald Trump made this. But this was for May the 4th for for Star Wars. May the 4th be with you. Yeah. That's Donald Trump with very, very large muscles and a lightsaber and some big eagles. May the 4th. Happy May the 4th, all including the radical left lunatics. Jesus Christ. Sith Lords, murderers.
Yeah, that right there, right? It's proven. This was written by someone that never saw the damn movies or AI. One or the other.
It's so bad, man. It's so bad. And just I don't understand their obsession with seeing Donald Trump in like muscular bodies, because they do this a lot. Even Trump does this a lot. Elon does this shit too. He'll post AI generated pictures of himself.
Right.
What kind of narcissistic baby do you have to be to make AI pictures of yourself?
And you can afford a gym and a personal trainer. Don't create that AI. Just create your body to look that way. You fucking insecure loser.
It's so weird, man. It's so weird. But all right, let's get into it. I have some videos here. Look, first I want to talk about how Jack Psobiec, the Pizzagate guy, okay, the guy that came up with the conspiracy that a pizza shop.
All right, come back to this in a minute.
pizza shop in, was it New York or DC, was running a pedophile
DC?
ring out of the basement, which
DC.
ended up leading, and people believed it so much so that I believe that an armed man showed up at the place looking for the kids.
Yeah.
And turns out, I didn't even know this, but you said that the place didn't even have a basement.
It didn't. It didn't. That was what was so stupid about it from the beginning. They're saying that there's an illegal child sex ring happening in a building, in the basement of a building that has no basement. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has this guy, Dom Lucre, who was on Twitter, personally posted a picture of child sex abuse material on Twitter from his personal camera roll, and then got banned by Twitter, personally reinstated by Elon Musk. So there's not a basement in the pizza shop, but there is a basement in the White House. That's what we're learning, is what's happening there.
But that I just don't understand how you how did it come up with this in the beginning? Like pedophile rings and pizza shops. How would you come up with something like this?
It was the WikiLeaks, because it's trust me, when you look into it, it's even dumber than it sounds. So WikiLeaks, yeah. So there was the WikiLeaks got access to emails between John Podesta and Trump's, or excuse me, not Trump, Hillary's campaign. They got leaked to Russia. Russia weaponized it, and then they started leaking them out via WikiLeaks a little bit at a time. And some of the emails kept referencing, let's get food at this restaurant. Let's get food at this place. And the argument from the right was that, like, oh, they want pasta at a place that serves wings. It doesn't have pasta on the menu, as if bars that serve food are not going to have any options other than wings.
They make fun of this on, what's that show? You know the show.
The Boys?
Oh my God, The Boys. Yeah, The Boys.
And they did it.
They make fun of. Yeah.
But that's how stupid it is. So because these people are emailing each other like, hey, let's get lunch at blah, 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 at blah, blah, blah time. They're like, oh my God, pedophiles. Like, whoever sees a calendar invite to, like, let's get beer and wings and goes to pedophiles.
I know.
That's a person should be kept away from schools.
There was also another conspiracy these people went into, like the one of the diaper manufacturers had something to do with the shapes on the diapers. And then
the cabinet thing, the Wayfair.
How did our society get to this point? But yeah, that's sorry. So anyway, back to Jack Psobiec, former military guy.
Yeah, this is what it was.
Pizzagate guy. Cheese pizza.
I think that's, like, honestly, because it was, because CP, that's what it was. It's just so stupid. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's brilliant. No, it's just dumb. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So here's Jack Psobiec, the Pizzagate guy, now in White House press briefings. Okay. The AP News was barred from going to these things, but Jack Psobiec, that's just fine. He's also one of many right-wing influencers, one of which was Tim Pool, who we know for a fact was being paid Russian money to spread Russian propaganda. He is in the White House press briefings now, too, which is insane. And the question is bonkers. And then I'll play Karoline Levitt's response, which was equally, if not even more insane. But here's Jack Psobiec asking just a banger of a question here about the violence on the left, I believe.
And today, and I appreciate the administration making yourself available and making it available to us and all of our followers. And I understand that you're going to be continuing these. And I think it's fantastic that really have everybody come in and be able to do this. One of the things that's been troubling me and has actually even affected me over the last 24 hours is the rise of violence that we've seen from elements of the far left, starting with
get the fuck out of here.
Maggioni, these support for these unhuman organizations like MS-13, Tren de Aragua, and even, of course, the assassination attempts on President Trump, Thomas Matthew Crooks, and Ryan Routh, as well as numerous incidents against anyone who owns a Tesla, apparently. You don't really see the Democrats opposing these things. You see them in many cases either co-signing it or giving a wink and nod to it at the same time that they will be demanding that we follow due process for anyone who actually is a hardened criminal, some of the worst of the worst.
That is like the most insane shit I've ever heard. How do you go from from Luigi Mangione, Trende Aragua?
Yeah.
How all of a sudden are us leftists part of MS or a part of a gang? No, we're a gang.
That's the point of their fascist propaganda, is because they throw all this shit at the wall to confuse people. So the whole point of fascist propaganda is there is no truth. There's no truth anymore, and you just have to trust whatever you locally trust. And then they do that and try to build with it. But remember, Jack Psobiec just sat next to a pedophile. That was Dom Lucre right there in the center, who has child sex abuse material on his phone. So Jack Psobiec should be hounded every single day. Why he sat so close to a pedophile, and why was he comfortable with it? Further, Jack Psobiec is a violent and vicious white nationalist and anti-Semite. He specifically uses white nationalist, anti-Semite lingo language. He posts like the word them all in like, I believe it's 3 brackets or like 4 brackets or something, which is, he had a picture of himself at like, I believe it was a Jewish event, saying, I'm surrounded by, in brackets, them. And this guy believes the great replacement theory. He is a fierce pusher of this theory, which has led to multiple terrorist attacks in this country. So this is why they do it, because he wants to throw all this shit and get the propaganda out there. So then when you hear the real white nationalists and white supremacists that are doing terrible acts, it's forgotten about, and the corporate media goes along with it.
Right. And he is a massive conspiracy theorist, obviously. If you believe in the great replacement theory, honestly, you should have your head checked. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. They're worried that brown people and black people are going to replace white people, and then we're just going to cease to exist one day, or God forbid, we all coexist and eventually we're the same color. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
what a weird
idea. No. Yeah.
We just treat each other as human. Oh!
But I mean, like, how are you so attached to the color of your skin that you're willing to just put other people down with baseless claims? They are so thank you. They are so pathetic. They are so sad. All right. So let me play KK Karoline's response to this ridiculous question that he was asking.
And I absolutely agree with the premise of your question, which I usually don't when I take questions at a podium. But certainly you're right. We have seen a rise in political violence that stems from the left, dating back to the Black Lives Matter movement, which the left and the Democrats don't want to talk about much, but they burned down American cities. And the Biden administration did nothing to prosecute those who created that violence, oftentimes not just destroying businesses, but also lives and communities as well. You look at the rise of violence against the president himself and his supporters. You had 2 heinous assassination attempts from leftist lunatics. And the president is lucky and blessed to be here today because he was able to survive that political violence and those assassination attempts. Look at the recent attacks on Tesla, on Elon Musk's company. It's quite ironic because Democrats and leftists were the greatest fans of Tesla. Many Democrats drive Teslas to this very day, but then it's that their same party who is.
We don't like Nazis, okay? We just don't.
No.
We just don't. Right. Most Americans don't like Nazis. That's kind of our thing. You know, ever since World War II, we've been pretty much haters of them.
Indiana Jones doesn't like Nazis, so neither do we.
Right. So if the guy who's been peddling save the world on building electric cars, and all of a sudden we find out that he's a goddamn Nazi, yeah, we're going to be pissed, okay? And
wait, are you saying that more information can inform your viewpoint and make you think differently?
Oh,
like, are you talking about an education? No. Oh my God!
So yeah. So speaking of Elon Musk, before we move on to
I want to jump in on that one last bit real quick. So she was talking about the BLM. 97% of the Black Lives Matter protests were peaceful, and majority, all the ones that I went to were peaceful. It only got violent when the cops started attacking us. They bull rushed us out of nowhere. They start tear gassing you, punching you, tackling you, throwing you to the ground, swarming you with vehicles, using their vehicles as battering rams. That was the violence. 97% of Black Lives Matter protests were peaceful. Republicans had 1 election, and they had to try and overthrow the government. And a lot of this other stuff that happened at BLM you look at, like, for example, a lot of the damage that was caused, there's plenty of footage of this. The damage was caused by the police because they knew that they could blame it on BLM. So they're walking by these storefronts, a line of cops smashing with their butts of their guns or like their batons or their fucking beat you sticks, whatever they have, breaking the glass. And then 2 California highway police officers were murdered out here in California by white supremacists, and the right wing went on and blamed Black Lives Matter. Yeah. And that's never been apologized for. They are frauds. They are propagandists. The violence is and always has been coming from the right because the call is from inside the White House.
Right. And honestly, it's I think there's been a debate online because people are saying they haven't seen more marginalized groups out in the streets protesting. And honestly, like me and Mike talked about it, this is not their fight. White people fucked this up. This is our problem and nobody else's. Donald Trump wants to target marginalized communities. He wants them to be violent so he can attack them. Yep. He is itching to use the Insurrection Act and put military on the streets. He's been trying to find a way since day one. Since day one, he's been trying to find a way to use it. So I do not blame, nor do I resent the marginalized community whatsoever for not participating more than they are. You know what I mean? Because don't. The danger is real. You know what I mean? They're just looking for reasons to go after people. So, yeah, white people fucked this country up, and it's up to us to fix it.
And we should be protecting them if any way we can at protests.
Absolutely.
I think I mentioned this to you guys, but like when I go to the protests, if I see the cops roll out and I see there's a line of black folks at the front, I go up there and I put myself in front because that's the only potential way, because the cops in their primate brain see white person, no shoot, black person behind, must stand down.
I know. It's like they're just programmed.
It's one of the best things that we can do in those situations.
Yeah. So, all right. So before we move on to all of this other stuff, I want to play one of my favorite Elon Musk videos because he was riding on cloud 9 after the election just to see it all crash down within months, not even years, like weeks almost. Everything just came crashing on down. Yep. So much, though, that he's now on his way out of the government. Technically, they're saying he is, but honestly, at this point, I don't think they like him. I don't think they like him. I know, right? Donald Trump has openly said in front of Elon Musk. He's openly said, "You okay?"
I cramped my leg doing that. Sorry, I interrupted you. Sorry, go ahead.
There you go. He openly said in the cabinet meeting that Elon Musk wasn't invited to, that showed up to anyway. He's like, I don't need Elon for anything. That's got to hurt. That's got to sting a little bit, especially after you bought your way into the White House. So yeah, I'll be happy to see him gone. I don't give a shit if I ever hear from him again. The less we hear from him, the better. And we got to get him to stop having kids. We got to get that guy to stop having kids, man. There's a theory.
Why do these women keep doing it? The money is not worth it, for Christ's sake.
Bro, the
money's not worth it.
It isn't. And he's not even paying, like at most of them, he doesn't even want to pay child support.
Yeah.
The richest guy in the world is bitching about paying child support. That's fucking crazy.
If you wanted to date Elon Musk, because yeah, I can see how like being on his fucking yacht is pretty fucking awesome. I get that. But to have his babies, like to have his dick inside of you is gross enough, but then to just have a inside of you and then later it's like a like I can't. I don't understand. That I don't understand.
I still think he's a virgin. I don't think he's ever even touched.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that.
A human vagina.
That's our conspiracy theory.
That's our conspiracy because I thought the Joe Rogan is 5'2" one was funny, so I wanted to make one that Elon Musk is a virgin. That's because we do know about the rumor that he had a botched penile implant surgery. And we do know that he likes to use IVF.
Baby, is this one too small? Let me get my better one.
Pump it out. But all right, let me play this video that I made of Elon. This is when he was high as balls balancing silverware at the White House, balancing silverware at his finger.
Balancing the focus. Elon, what the hell are you doing?
Go on, Diana. You were saying?
Well, I think that the...
Blueprint! May I take your tripod, sir?
Yes. Blueprint.
Correct. Don't take the cork off the fork.
Why is the cork on the fork?
To prevent him hurting himself and others.
Oh, Jesus.
Balancing the fork. Elon, what the hell are you doing?
Excuse me.
Oh my God.
May I go to the bathroom first?
Of course you may.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's one of the best movies ever from the 80s.
That
Marty
commentary,
runs
that
down
that commentary of Elon, what the hell are you doing? Is too fucking perfect. And I gotta say, for being high, dare I say I'm slightly impressed. I'm not gonna lie, a little bit.
Well, wasn't it last week we watched a video of him all weekend walking with his shoulders and everything like that? I mean, come on. And this is the guy that we have poking around our personal information. Luckily, he's been getting blocked by most of the judges, but we'll see. There's
Tesla
the
cybercock. So,
the whistleblower has to be concerned. They were saying that Russians were trying to log in immediately into, I can't remember what it was now. Immediately after Doge left, they were trying to get access to all this information, proprietary information. So yeah, that's great. But I hope I never see him again. I hope he loses everything. I don't give a shit if everything he has just completely falls apart. I hate Elon Musk with a passion. I mean, come on, you come over to the United States illegally per his brother. It's not an allegation. That's what his brother said on an interview. Elon claims it's a gray area. Then you use the money you brought with you to take advantage of capitalism. You just buy and sell companies. You don't invent anything. You don't create anything. You literally just abuse capitalism and American democracy to then just turn around and overthrow that democracy with the money you made that you came from coming here illegally. I mean, if anything, there's nothing worse to me than that. That's just shit.
And it's funny. It's funny how his, because obviously all the illegal immigration targets are people that, of brown skin. So, and then Elon Musk describes his area as a gray area. What it really meant is that it was a white area.
Right, yeah, exactly. They paid for it. All right. So moving on. Mike Walz is no longer in charge of whatever the fuck he was in charge of. We're trying to keep track of all these things now, but it's honestly getting tough keeping track of all the different people moving around, who's coming in, who's going out. But he hasn't been fired. He was just moved to another job. So now he's the UN ambassador, and Marco Rubio is going to be standing in for him. Donald Trump, one of his number one bootlickers, who used to hate his guts, who, according to Marco Rubio, we have a video here I'll show you in a second, but just to show you how stupid these people are, like they were caught using Signal, which you're not supposed to use, discussing very top secret information, which you're not supposed to do. And then come to find out he's still using Signal. And this was during a cabinet meeting. So they obviously don't give a shit. They haven't learned their lesson. You can see JD Vance is one of the names. Marco Rubio's at the top. Yep. Witkoff, I can see that name. Gabbard. Yeah, they're all on there.
They didn't even think to use code names, like that would have been cool. Come on. They love cosplaying as tough guys. So why isn't Mike Waltz like Mike the Eagle Waltz? But Marco Rubio would still just be Little Marco.
Yeah, the little one.
Yeah,
little Marco.
Call his nickname. His code name is the Hobbit.
The Hobbit, yeah. But they're still doing it. So this is absolute chaos. But let me show you what Mike Waltz said about Hillary's emails and how furious he was about this and why wasn't she thrown in jail. And they're just so upset about Hillary's emails. And now this, and they're like, this isn't a big deal. I can't believe we're just trying to play that. After the years of hearing about Hillary's emails and Joe Biden's or Hunter Biden's laptop. And then this happens, and they're like, it's not a big deal. Happens all the time. You've never accidentally added a reporter to a group chat about sensitive information before? Oh, my God. All right, but here's what Mike Waltz said about Hillary's emails.
The sitting National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan, the president's National Security Advisor, sent top secret emails to Hillary Clinton when he was her deputy chief of staff at the State Department and got nothing, not even a slap on the wrist, on an unsecured server that we know our enemies were trying to access. Top secret and compartmented, even higher than top secret. He was sending back and forth freewheeling, and we see nothing there.
Wheeling. These people.
Of course, there was a Hillary testified for I don't even know how many hours. It was double-digit hours. And
meanwhile, Trump needed help because he was about to do Robert Mueller's questionnaire in crayon. So he had to get help from someone else while Hillary sat for 10, 12 hours, whatever the fuck it was.
Right. And she never once pleaded the fifth, which Donald Trump has done hundreds of times under testimony or under oath. So
I wish he did it under testimony, under oath. I just wish he was under arrest.
He should have been. He should never have made it this far, man. That's what pisses me off.
Well, it's the Democrats they had in charge, and they did nothing with it. It was stupid. And the judges.
Spineless cowards. Spineless cowards. They were like, well, it's political if we, throw them in jail for trying to, steal classified documents. We can't make it look political. Like, what? What?
Listen,
what are you talking about?
Stealing classified nuclear information that puts our country at risk is political, okay? It's not about safety. It's political.
Right. It's very bad, too. It's something somebody should go to jail for. But this was Marco Rubio back in 2016 talking shit about Donald Trump.
I will never stop until we keep a con man from taking over the party of Reagan and the conservative movement. He's a con man.
He stopped, all right.
He's a con man. He's a con man. I'll tell you why. Number one, look, people are angry and frustrated and scared about the future. Okay? People are working harder than they've ever worked in their lives, and they're running in place. And he swoops in and is taking advantage of that. He's taking advantage of that. He's telling people, I'm going to fight for the little guy. I'm fighting for the working class. Here's what he doesn't tell them. He has spent a career in business, 50 years, sticking it to the little guy.
He's like, I will never
sounds
stop.
like a Democrat attacking him.
Right.
And then he goes from this of like, he's a con man, he's a fraud. Please, Mr. Trump, may I have a job?
I know. We talked about it before the show, how J.D. Vance called him, literally called him America's Hitler.
Yep.
And now he's his vice president. Nothing makes sense anymore.
And Ted Cruz, he insulted his wife. Trump must be a vet because he just neuters men left and right. You know what I mean?
I don't understand it.
I was saying he's a veterinarian. He was because he's
right.
But he does. He just makes everyone eunuchs around him, and it's pathetic. These people themselves are just weak-willed, pathetically insecure men. So they realize that they can't fight anymore. So they just tuck tail. It's one thing if you're like, I accept this loss, still don't like you, I'm still going to call out if I feel you cross the line. But look at all the shit that little Marco was talking about, and all of it's happening again. And he said, you know what? I want to be in on that. How can I get it on the ground floor of this little scam operation of yours?
All right. So he went from that saying Trump's a con man. I'm never going to stop fighting to this saying on air, on television with a straight face that, Canada, that's what Trump wants. Yeah, we'll make Canada the 51st state. It's like, what? Stop emasculating yourself for this guy. And that's what kills me is Trump, the guy that just wakes up and plasters orange makeup on his face and then walks out in public and shits himself. And that's the guy that
straight.
And he just leans forward the whole time. But that's the guy that's the guy they've chosen to idolize. But here's Rubio talking about this dumb shit about making it. And this is never going to happen, obviously. I don't even know why we're talking about this because this damn sure wasn't on the campaign trail. I didn't hear shit about Canada being the 51st state. And all this is that we need their resources. We need their resources, and we just don't want to pay for them. Donald Trump just wants to take everything. It's the same thing that's happening in Gaza and other places. He just wants to take it for themselves. Doesn't want to actually do any work for it. Sounds like the Donald Trump way. But here's Rubio.
You taken any steps to carry out President Trump's plans, as he has said he would like to annex Canada. Have you taken any steps in that direction?
No, I think what the president has said, and he has said this repeatedly, is he was told by the previous prime minister that Canada could not survive without unfair trade with the United States. At which point he asked, well, if you can't survive as a nation without treating us unfairly in trade, then you should become a state. That's what he said. They'll have their elections this week. They're going to have a new leader, and we'll deal with a new leadership of Canada. There are many things we work with cooperatively on Canada on, but we actually don't like the way they've treated us when it comes to trade. And the president has made that point when he responded to the previous prime minister in regards to this.
So does the U.S. still want to make Canada the 51st state?
I think the president has stated repeatedly he thinks Canada would be better off as a state.
You know what's funny about, they keep saying that they're not happy with the trade deal with Canada. Donald Trump's the one that signed the goddamn thing.
Yeah,
it's his trade deal with Canada and Mexico. He signed it his first term. As a matter of fact, he signed it in the wrong spot and everybody was laughing at him. That video is funny. There's a video, they're like all of them are watching him sign at the wrong spot, just shaking their head laughing.
But Biden was senile.
Right, but Sleepy Joe. I miss Joe. God, I miss Joe. We could have just have normal, boring, everyday life.
I could go back to my dick jokes. Not have to have these wrinkles and these crow feet from stress. Well,
yeah, my mental health over the last years has been up and down because of this stuff. It'll wear you out.
But it's amazing. They're picking. Oh, hi Rufus, little Rufus cameo there.
Rufus.
But they are picking a fight with one of the nations that's largely internationally regarded as one of the nicest countries on the planet.
Right.
And they think it's going to be as easy as like taking Canada is a nuclear armed state. People forget this. It's a nuclear armed state. So they think it's going to be like taking candy from a baby and it's going to be easy. It's actually like taking candy from a baby that's standing on a fucking moose and that moose is pissed at you. So this is a stupid idea, but you're right. It's all about the resources. And this is imperialism, corporatist propaganda, all interests, all pushed into one. Because if we did take over Canada, assuming we won and the world isn't just a nuclear waste, then the corporations could move in, decimate the forests. You know, they're already wanting to do it in Yellowstone and Yosemite here, decimate the forests and just plant factories that spew pollution into the air rather than have a fucking glacier that we could get water from. So it's perfect mix of the two most worst instincts of government and countries.
Right. And they have social, or what do you want to call it? They have, oh my God, I can't think tonight. Healthcare for everybody. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, socialized medicine. Yeah.
Thank you. Socialized medicine. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
Why would they have they're the top 10 of best healthcares in the world.
Why would they want to give that up for America's healthcare system? Are you insane? Luigi Mangione literally murdered a guy over our healthcare system. Well, that's how bad it is.
Yeah. Well, let's make it personal. Today, I was just telling you before the show. I went to a healthcare facility because I needed to be seen by a new doctor for a new treatment. I waited about 2.5 hours and didn't even get past the waiting room. And I asked the person at the desk, I'm like, well, what's the deal here? They said, oh, yeah, the average waiting room experience is about 3 hours. The fact that there's a waiting room experience like it's a fucking line at Disneyland is a problem. And the fact that she just knew that off the bat, 3 hours just to be seen, not including all the testing they had to do, all the actual interview, talking about the symptoms, testing, whatever, 3 hours plus all of that. There is a problem in this country, and you want to invade the country that has better health care than what we have? It's stupid.
Or convince them that we are the better option somehow.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Okay.
we're here to win hearts and minds, but not your healthcare system.
Right, that's it. I did find a funny clip, though, before we get into Pam Bondi for the last bit of our show, because her claim is hilarious, bro. I died laughing when I first saw this video. I'm like, where do they come up with the numbers, and how do they get people to like they're going to believe this shit? But first, here's a video of Rubio sitting next to Trump, and he's talking to the press about how Donald Trump's going to get rid of perverts and pedophiles and rapists, but the whole time he's pointing at Donald Trump.
You got to see this one.
And I had to do it in slow motion, so I have it a couple times.
Doing that, the president was elected to keep America safe and to get rid of a bunch of perverts and pedophiles and child rapists out of our country. Perverts and pedophiles and child rapists.
Perverts and pedophiles and child rapists.
There's your ad, Democrats.
Oh,
there's your ad, Democrats.
Did
what the fuck are they doing?
Did I add that picture at the end? I'm so naughty. Yes.
You're right, though.
I mean, Rubio's right. Perverts and pedophiles.
What do you mean? What the fuck? What the shit?
I
Wall. I'm building a wall now. What the hell?
It's like the time that Mike Johnson was talking about criminals. He's like, criminals?
Oh, yeah.
He put it right at Trump. It's like, they
can't
all
know. They all know it subconsciously, you know?
And we still have not seen the Epstein files be released. If anything, we saw a less redacted or even more redacted version of what was already public knowledge, which is hilarious. So, yeah, that's funny. I thought that was just an ironic clip there. So let's get on to Pam Bondi for the last part of our show, because they are trying to make Donald Trump seem not just like great, but like almost this mythical creature that is capable of these miracles. Like her claim about how Donald Trump is, I should have had the clip of Dr. Evil. I totally forgot to do that, where he's like 1 million, gajillion, gabillion.
That would have been good.
She has claimed that Donald Trump has saved 276 million Americans from fentanyl deaths. For those that don't know, there's only there's like 260 American adults over 18. So we're also talking about a 10 million children that Donald Trump is their savior. He has saved us from the scourge of fentanyl. All of us could be dead right now if it wasn't for Donald Trump and his heroic efforts. But how does anybody believe these numbers? It's absurd. Just listen to the numbers she throws out there. Like, are we expected to believe that in 3 months, just over 3 months, that he has accomplished this? I mean, this is insane. Here we go.
3,400 kilos of fentanyl since you've been your last 100 days, which saved, are you ready for this, media? 258 million lives. Kids are dying every day because they're taking this junk.
Even Vance is like,
laced with something else. They don't know what they're taking.
No, look at his face.
Or an Adderall.
Look at his face, bro.
He's doing the math.
No longer because of you, what you've done.
He's doing
Oh my God,
he's like, wait a second.
And he was trying to figure it out too. Oh my God. The transition between that was like fucking film school classes. Perfect acting, because it was so real. He was like, hearing it, processing it.
Let's watch it again.
That's some bullshit.
Let's watch it again, because since you pointed it out, I only saw like the last half, but just watch JD Vance's face the whole time.
3,400 kilos of fentanyl since you've been your last 100 days, which saved, are you ready for this, media? 258 million lives.
Here it goes.
Kids are dying every day because they're taking this junk laced with something else. They don't know what they're taking.
You sure about that, Bondi?
Or an Adderall and a Xanax, and it's laced with fentanyl, and they're dropping dead, and no longer because
he even
of you,
did like the pursing of the lips. Like he did this. He did the. He did one of those.
You know, I noticed though she's saying that people are taking Adderall and other drugs laced with fentanyl.
Yeah, what fuck?
Drug dealers are going around making prescription? Why are you buying prescription drugs from the guy on the corner of the street, not your pharmacy?
Hey man, if you want the hard stuff, I got ibuprofen.
Right. I know I got ibuprofen laced with fentanyl.
Jesus Christ!
What the fuck? She actually did say ibuprofen. Oh my God! Tylenol laced with fentanyl. People are just dropping dead in the streets. I don't know about you guys, but this must not be a thing in Pennsylvania. I mean, I know fentanyl's in Pennsylvania, but I haven't seen any dead people in the streets from taking ibuprofen laced.
Yeah, I can't think of.
Fuck, this is stupid.
It's
and the numbers keep changing.
Yeah,
that's what kills me. The numbers keep changing.
But you were asking, this is just important to remind the world at large, is that this is what the fascist propaganda does. We know it because we haven't bought into the bullshit. But what happens
Right.
is they start small. Like this is where how vaccine bullshit turns into a right-wing disinformation pipeline, because this whole idea of like, well, vaccines, see what they do is they take a tiny portion of the virus, engineer it in a way that your body adapts to it and gets the immunity from it without getting the serious illness. But that is so much more complicated than vaccine had brain chip. You know, like it's so much easier to think logically, and people that are, it's not fun to get, like I took very long time to get my COVID shots because I don't like needles. People don't like needles. Getting cut open because you need to have heart surgery, otherwise you die, is fucking terrifying. But it's either that or one or the other. And it's so much more easier to just be like, hey, dude, you know what they're actually doing when they put you under on the table? They're raping you. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're touching your butt cheeks. It's just easier to explain it that way. So you start with like, the truth is not true. And then once you accept that, then it's like, hey, you know what else isn't true? Immigrants aren't here to do work. They're here to hurt you. And it just goes on and on and on. So that's why she can say all this bullshit with no pushback from her people, from her base. And again, there's no pushback from the corporate media because they intentionally have these fascist liars on and air them unedited without any truth sandwiching, without any correction to the record, and allow them to spew their propaganda. And they are complicit in this. The corporate media, Jake Tapper, all these people at CNN, MSNBC, they are the enemy.
Yep, they're the reason we are in the current situation, because they wouldn't call it for what it was when we needed it. And that's hilarious. Oh my God. But she goes on to the news now to spread this complete and fabricated lie that Donald Trump is saving basically every person in America, at least 75% of us, from the fentanyl. This is too much. I can't, honestly, I want to scream half the time because this shit's so stupid. And but like we've talked about on shows before, MAGA will believe anything. Think of the dumbest thing you could possibly think of, and I guarantee you somebody out there believes it. Somebody in America will believe it. I guarantee it. But here she is talking about how much of a hero Donald Trump is. Like we should be worshiping him at his feet and licking his toes. Like this is so awkward.
My job is to keep America safe, make America safe, and this fentanyl is killing our citizens every single day. So much of it was in our country already. President Trump, since he's been in office, has taken out over 22 million pills, 3,400 kilos of fentanyl off of our streets since he has been in office.
I didn't know
He's saving lives every single day.
Even he's calling it out. Even he's like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Sounds like bullshit, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, and most fentanyl on the streets sold in powder form too. I mean, I know they make fentanyl pills, but they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, and again, the stuff that is smuggled into the country is smuggled in through legal ports of entry
by U.S. citizens.
Vast majority of it, by U.S. citizens.
So yeah, I forget what the number was. I think it's like 80% or even higher than that.
I think it's around 90.
Yeah, but it's not people crossing the border trying to find a better life for themselves. They're not backpacking fentanyl across the border.
They just have it tucked in their sleeping bag.
I have every possession I've ever owned on my back and a kilo of fentanyl.
All I came into this country was with a shirt on my back and a pill up my butt. Who would believe this?
Do you know how long I had to snatch that up my ass? Walking.
You see, he came into this country with his watch. And he shoved it up his ass. Except it wasn't a watch; it was a pill to sell for a lot of money.
And I'm not making light of the fentanyl crisis or the opioid crisis because I even got wrapped up in that shit. Unfortunately, ruined a large part of my life. But it's not as bad as they say it is. And it's damn sure not 276 million people. Like Jesus Christ.
Can I ask, did you ever experience fentanyl in the stuff you took? Like, was there?
Yes.
Did you have an overdose, or did you know anyone that had an overdose, or how'd that work?
Oh no, I did. I did personally.
You had an overdose.
Oh yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah, I
no.
personally did. I just fell out. Next thing I knew, I woke up. I had paramedics in my bathroom.
Oh.
Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad experience. I could get into it. It's a long, drawn out story. It ruined my life. It really did. I was on track to be do special things, not special things, but good things in my life.
Yeah.
I was successful and all that stuff, and I just got wrapped up in the wrong crowd. And I was in the car business at the time, and back then the car business was notorious for drugs.
Was it really?
Oh God, yeah. I don't think there was ever a car dealership I had ever worked at where there wasn't drugs.
Jesus.
No,
so what,
honestly, no.
There were tires or what?
No, I mean not like mass quantities of it, but you're able to get it. You know what I mean? So like even my manager was doing it at the time. So we all got, and I didn't know anything about addiction. So this is when pills were being sold like in mass. This was when the pill mills in Florida were a big thing, and all like they were big.
Your mic. I can't hear you. Can I hear you? Uh-oh. You're muted. There we go. Oh, no. It says you're muted, but even when you're not muted, I couldn't hear you. Shit. Stand by. We're experiencing technical difficulties. Oh, wait. Are you back?
Am I back?
Thank God. Yes. I was about to do the Jeopardy thing. I was panicking. I'm like, I don't know how to pull
Why
up
does
these
that
slides.
happen? I don't know why that happens. I think it has to do with the connection, but
yeah, it looked like
whatever.
a cable came loose.
No, yeah, what I was saying is they were basically going around saying that there's a Netflix special they did on it, where they were going around promoting OxyContin is safe, a safe alternative. That's why we're in the opioid crisis. Is because
they said
of
you
pharmacy.
couldn't get addicted. They said it wasn't like heroin or cocaine. You couldn't get addicted because it's a pill.
Right. And then now we're in the situation that we're in. But they want to blame migrants and fentanyl, and they like to create boogeymen that don't exist, and they like to create problems that they don't solve. Like they're now out there, like RFK Jr.'s out there saying, we got rid of all the red dyes, and MAGA's like, yay, but they haven't done anything. They haven't
just want you to see this. We all love you, Jeremy.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a story. I'm not ashamed to talk about it. It's just one of those things that's part of my life. You know what I mean? So, but I got over it, and I'm a better person as a result. Yeah, but yeah, it was. We got off topic. I wasn't expected to talk about myself.
But it's it's good to share this stuff because I mean, other folks have experienced it. I had a guy in my stand-up class. You know, he was on meth at the time. Sorry, not at the time in class. I mean, previously. It's not on meth in class. He was sober. But it's, it's an important thing to talk about to get rid of the stigma, and also that other people can know that, like, yes, it is possible. It can't be done.
The thing that's really bad about fentanyl is the minuscule amount you need to overdose, and it can be absorbed through the skin too. I know there was a while in my own city where a lot of cops and paramedics were having problems where they were feeling symptoms of not some overdoses, but just being high in general, just from being in contact with fentanyl. It's dangerous shit. I mean, it is a problem. It's something that should be addressed, but they're making a sideshow out of real problems. Like addiction is a real problem. And they're not even they're not offering any help to addicts or anything like that. They're helping
cutting the funding. Yeah.
Right. They're cutting funding for all that kind of stuff. So they're not going to solve the problem. They just pretend they solve the problem. And they make problems that don't exist.
Exactly.
Like the immigration problem, it's not a problem. Okay. Yes, we have people that come here illegally. And quite honestly, Joe Biden was deporting more of them than Donald Trump is so far. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, I don't know. I don't know how people support any of this at this point, but his approval numbers are in the toilet. But I'm still amazed that anybody supports this guy.
Yeah.
Anybody at all.
I don't get it.
But that's it. That's all we have for today. We only have, only a couple seconds of technical issues at the end, thank God. But if you'd like to support our work and help us get better equipment so my mic doesn't fucking cut out while I'm talking, you can do so by visiting the link tree in the description of this video. We have a GoFundMe set up. I think I even might have put up this Rufus. I think I might even put my Cash App in the description of the video because we don't do ads. We have merch if you guys are interested. That's on our channel page, just a couple t-shirts, stuff like that. We have ways that you guys can support us, but we don't like doing ad revenue because we like to talk how we talk. We like to say what we want to say. And with ad revenue on, you have to kind of watch what you say. I don't like doing that.
Censorship ?
Yeah, we're almost monetized, and this is the only monetized platform that we have is YouTube, and we don't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because it's never really been about the money, it's just been kind of like supporting the show and supporting the cause kind of thing. So,
and I will say for the chat, while I can't buy a T-shirt today, recommend everybody does when you can. And then
Bro,
when I do buy a T-shirt, but when I do buy, I'm gonna buy a T-shirt soon. Just like with the GoFundMe, I'll hold up the thing and then I'll make sure to wear it and show it off for everybody too. So if you can buy one, please do.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks to you guys. We were able to go to DC though. Your donations really came in. Thank you, James, for starting that rally there at the end. I was losing hope last week until you guys all came through for me, and it made this week special. Well, I made this past week special. Going to DC was very special for me. I hadn't been there in like 35 years, and it was a place that holds special memories for me, like core memories for me from growing up. So I'm really glad I was able to go back there and take Mike because he's never been there either. But we will be going back. We will be going back. I'm thinking about there's supposed to be a big one on June 6th that I really got my eye on, but I don't know if I'll be able to pull that off. That's just the me thing, wanting to go down and participate. Yeah. But also keep an eye out for that'd be cool. And also keep an eye out for some streams for my local community. I just attended my first 50-51 meeting here in my small city of 35,000 people, and people are out. Okay, people are participating, especially old white people are out. They're pissed, and some of them voted for Trump. They are now organizing.
I fought Nazis. What's one doing in the White House?
Exactly.
They used to call me Indiana Jones.
I think the biggest thing about the whole meeting for me was watching young kids. I mean, not young. I said kids because I'm 47, but the oldest one was a teacher. But he couldn't have been more than 25 years old. He was the oldest. And then the average age of the crowd that was there was probably 65. I don't know. They were asking the young kids questions and saying how they appreciate what they're doing. And it was nice. It was heartwarming. And I'm hoping that this momentum just continues to carry throughout the year. Because I know people are exhausted, but we just have to keep going. We can't stop.
It's the only option. It's either fight.
I wanted to give up, dude. I wanted to give up after the election. I wanted to throw in the towel. I told Mike, we're done. This is our last show. But because of the community we built and the people that watch our show, encouraging us to keep going is why we're still here. And we can't let you guys down. And we don't plan on it. So we'll be back again and again until they tell us to stop. Or we end up in a
You're just doing a show one day and you hear bang, bang on the doors and then get down on the ground. That's
I know, right? Yeah, Alcatraz could be in the near future. That's a new option that we'll be talking about on tomorrow's show. Mike and I will be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Tune in. We have even more insane stuff to talk about. Like Donald Trump wants to rename Veterans Day. That's gonna go over really great with the veteran crowd. I know.
Really? I have missed.
Yeah, I will talk about it tomorrow. All right, everybody, have a good rest of your night. Thank you so much for watching. We love you all, and we'll see you next week.